This is some good shit. Oh man, am I fucking stoned?
Yeah, me too.
Hey, you guys hear that?
Slash and gash. Cut another hole in your ass. Spill blood on the walls and play tennis with your balls. If the phone rings, don't answer the call.
Hey, horror fans. Welcome to the R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast, episode 15. Tonight's episode will be a... What the... Jesus Christ. I thought I fucking turned this thing off. Right. Hello? Yeah, I have a horror commentary podcast on YouTube, dumbass.
Do you like scary movie?
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm doing a commentary for it, you fucking retard.
Is it your favorite scary movie?
No, not by a long shot. This movie is, kind of a piece of shit, but it's kind of funny, so... Hey, listen, man, I gotta get going, dude. I gotta cut you off. I gotta go. So, yeah, okay, dude. Whatever. Fuck you. Adios. Anyway, yeah, that was, fucking weird. But, where was I? Oh, yeah, Scary Movie from 2000. Yeah, this is a Soulcast tonight. Double D has the night off. It was, just another impromptu, sort of, spontaneous commentary. I think this is my 5th, solo podcast I've done, so... This was a fun one, man. I had a good time, so crack a beer and hang out and enjoy. A year after disposing of the body of a man they accidentally killed, a group of dumb teenagers are stalked by a bumbling serial killer. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Josh. It's a warm spring night, and I was just hanging out, and I was thinking, how can I add a little bit of diversity to the channel? And, you know, I'm just trying to vary things up a little bit. And I know we've had some comedies on the channel, if you want to call Gremlins and Teen Wolf a comedy, which they are, but maybe not strict in the strictest sense. But I was like, you know, let's just do a straight up spoof. And I was thinking, you know what? I remember the Scary Movie franchise being pretty good because it was the early days of that. They just started spoofing all the shit that had gone on in the 90s. Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, etc., etc. And they were really funny. The Wayans brothers were really coming off of the show they had done on TV with Jim Carrey, what was it called? In Living Color. And I loved that show. It was so different and unique and funny. So much talent involved. And so when they moved over from TV into movies, they kind of jumped in with this. Well, there was one little movie called I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, but that's a whole other story. But they sort of jumped into, you know, spoofing the horror genres of the 90s. And I would say these first 3 movies of the Scary Movie franchise were really funny. I mean, you know, 1 and 2 definitely, 3 started to wane, and then they really went downhill from there. And now the whole thing is just so beaten into the ground. It's just worn the fuck out. Like, it's not funny at all anymore. And they, you know, creeped out into doing other types of spoof movies and stuff, you know, and making fun of the superhero genres, and it's just become very blasé and dumb. The humor is just not there. But these first early Scary Movies were actually really, really funny. They still make me laugh. So I would say if, like, you are familiar with the 90s and you know the horror genre and stuff like that, or at least the popular movies of the time, you know, you're going to laugh at these movies. They're funny. I guess, you know, maybe you're too young to really understand the references, then, I don't know, maybe just on a surface level still be funny to you, but I was like, you know what, let's do something different. Let's do one of these old school Wayans Brothers movies. I can't believe this movie is 17 years old. It just blows my mind because it really doesn't seem like that long ago to me. It's just like the American Pie movies that were coming out around the same time are starting to seem older and more dated as the years go on. And really, this one, it really holds up. I mean, it's not that dated, you know? But, you know, I mean, to me, it's still fresh. But, I mean, I'm sure to other people, it seems very, very dated. So, anyway, let's get into this. It's a Dimensions movie. So, it's up on the Dimensions logo. It's about 3 seconds in, okay? And I'm going to hit play. I got to get up here. And I'll count it down. And it's 3, 2, 1, and hit play. Yeah, so we're right on the Dimension Films logo. Probably about 10 seconds in. And it's right on the house and then the Jiffy Pop. So, cue it up. And it's so funny because without fail, every time I try to do one of these things, either my cat jumps up on my face and starts meowing like I've never heard her meow before, or the stream stops, or the DVD skips, or the, you know, whatever, my laptop decides to stop like recording or something. It's just without fail always does some shit. Oh man, well, it was gonna break my rhythm. Okay, anyway, enough of the ranting about that. So yeah, they're spoofing the original Scream here, obviously. And this is what, like, this is Carmen Electra, right? I like how she tells him to turn the page, whatever, to see inside her. I have to admit, the writing on this movie is actually really, really funny.
Listen, asshole. You've had your fun, now you better stop or else.
Or else what?
Or else my boyfriend's gonna be here any minute, and he's black and he'll kick your ass.
He's black and he'll kick your ass.
The one who wears makeup and dresses like a woman?
How'd you know?
Turn the porch lights on.
Oh man, poor Prince. Man, I was so bummed when he passed away, dude. It was just like he's like one of those performers I thought would just like live forever, you know? Like he just seemed so vigorous, so full of life, and had his shit together, you know? Like he was really just fucking taking over the world and doing what Prince does, you know? And I was just like shocked when he died last year, and I never got to see Prince live, man. You know? I always wondered if he ever played Bat Dance live. Remember Bat Dance from 1989's Batman? Remember that video? I actually loved that video when I was 12. It's actually not a bad song. Every now and then I like to throw it up on Facebook or something, you know? It's like, hey, remember when Prince did this? But yeah, they made, over the last almost 2 decades, they've made a lot of these spoof movies, and they've just gotten progressively worse. I mean, they're horrible, you know? I guess the whole idea of spoofing popular movies, the idea didn't stand the test of time, like, or they're just not funny people writing them anymore. It's just very cheaply done. Quickly done, cheaply done, whatever. I mean, cheap on top of cheap, you know, a copy of a copy of a copy kind of thing. And they're just not funny. Like, every now and then I'll, like, you know, feel like watching something stupid, and I'll watch one of these things on Netflix, like Epic Movie or whatever they come up with that's a spoof of the recent movies of that year or last couple years, whatever. And it's just so terrible. It's just not funny at all. It's just become formulaic and boring. And I would just, you know, for me, I would say the first couple of these movies are actually really, really good. You know, they're really funny. The Wayans brothers were on top of the game, coming out of like In Living Color in the 90s, which I loved. That was so funny and unique, and it had Jim Carrey, just really interesting dynamics on that show. Those guys were so funny, writing different skits that had a message behind them sometimes, and then they just moved right into cinema with these, comedy movies, which were like, competently directed, funny written movies. And this one, it's the first scary movie. This one was actually written by the Wayans brothers, and another couple guys. Was basically two scripts that merged together. So the first one was that the Wayans brothers wrote was, "Last summer I screamed because Halloween fell on Friday the 13th." And then the other script was written by Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, and it was called "Scream If You Know What I Did Last Summer." And so they just took those two spoof scripts and they merged them together, I guess, into this one movie. And then it was directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans. He was a cameo later on, but this is a legit funny spoof movie. I mean, I laugh. I just, rewatched it recently to do this commentary, and I laughed my ass off. Now, not all of it is like knee-slapping funny, but I mean, it's clever. It's a little on the nose, a little ham-fisted, but it is what it is. It created its own little genre, and I like it. It's a funny movie. It still holds up as funny. Now, I don't know if that's like just me being prejudiced because, I understand the source material, which is a lot of 90s movies, mostly horror movies. But I mean, I would like to think that, probably a high school student graduating, an 18-year-old or something would watch this, and even without knowing the reference material would probably laugh their ass off, because there's a lot of fucking comedic acting and situations in the movie that, you don't really have to necessarily get the movies that came before it. But, no, I mean, I was laughing real hard. It's still a funny movie. This one and the second one are really funny, and the third one, some stuff in there is not bad, but, it starts to taper off, and then it really goes downhill from there. I mean, they're still doing these movies. They're doing the, whatever the stupid craze is of the times. I know they did a spoof of the 50 Shades of Grey. I think they called it 50 Shades Darker or something like that, but, I mean, I didn't even bother to see that because I know it is probably terrible, and I heard it was absolutely horrible and just stupid and dumb. I mean, every now and then I'll get like a wild hair at my ass to like check one of these things out on Netflix or something, and the Wayans Brothers movies, and they're just not funny at all. I mean, they're just not funny at all. It's tired, But for some reason, this stuff is still fresh and funny to me, You probably won't agree with me, or maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe it's an age thing. Who knows? But I don't know. I still find this shit funny. It's still very, slapsticky and obvious, but, it had its moment, and this is probably the best of what they came up with at the time. I was reading that they actually want to have Jamie Lee Curtis do a cameo in this movie later on, where one of the characters is looking for a place to hide and opens the closet, and she's in there hiding in the closet, like a throwback to the first Halloween movie. That actually would have been hilarious, but I would guess with 90%, certainty that she said no. She didn't want anything to do with it, I don't think she barely wants anything to do with horror in general, much less a spoof. I mean, I guess they could have gotten some actress that kind of looks like Jamie Lee Curtis and put her in a wig, or fix the scene to make it look really identical to the Halloween scene, but I don't think it would have the same effect. So it's probably a good thing they just cut that idea loose. But it would have been, I think, funny to see her in this. I just don't think she's... The impression I get of her is that she's just not very... I don't know. She's not very comfortable and joking around about this kind of stuff. I don't know. She's just too serious for her own good, you know. I mean, the horror genre is what made her a famous actress. What you know, guided her into the movie business. So I don't know why she comes down on horror movies so much. But apparently, Scary Movie was the original working title for the actual movie Scream, which is funny. Look, there's like the coroner's van in the background. Nice. It's weird because the Wayans brothers were so clever back in the day, you know? I mean, I really think this is like right up there on the level with like the airport movies, you know, that the spoof movies that were going on like in the late 70s, early 80s with like Leslie Nielsen and stuff. Airplane 1, Airplane 2. I mean, this is just as funny as those, I think, you know. They just took that formula and they applied it to 90s movies. There's Sherry O'Terry from SNL. Always thought she was cute, you know, in a sort of goofy, awkward sort of way. But they really spoofed this movie, like, perfectly, you know. White people down, let's get the fuck out of here, shit. Man, Shannon Elizabeth. Whew. Back in her heyday, man. Holy shit, right? American Pie. God damn. She was just at the Chiller Fest here in Jersey, and I was going to go, but couldn't work it out. I was, you know, interested in getting a signed pick or something, but man, she was smoking hot. Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, or I think it was just Jay and Silent Bob. Was it Strikes Back? Yeah, it might have been. She was in that one too. I think she still pops up in movies every now and then, but you know, she's fallen off a little bit. It's not really her time anymore, you know. I mean, when you're doing the horror convention circuit, I mean, it's definitely behind you, you know. But she has such a unique, natural beauty about her, you know. I mean, she definitely was the girl that boys lusted after like the kid in American Pie, you know. She's kind of exotic looking and just banging hot and just glowing with life, you know. And Amy Ferris is still sticking around. I mean, she did a whole bunch of stuff after this, and then I think she does her own podcast now, the Amy Ferris Show or something, which I've listened to a little bit of on iTunes. And it's not bad. You know, she just knows a lot of celebrities, and they come to her show and they talk about whatever bullshit they want to promote, you know. And she's still interesting, kind of quirky girl with a bubblegum personality and stuff. Man, I like the comedy that goes on in this movie with Brenda and Ray, her boyfriend Ray, who's Sean Wayans, where he's like doing all his gay shit through the movie, and he's like trying to pretend like he's not, you know, or I don't even think he's really trying to pretend like he's not, but it's just a funny, tongue-in-cheek sort of thread of comedy through the whole movie, you know. Oh, horny teenagers, man. You remember those days, right? We were all horny teenagers once. He's fucking filling up his filling up his friend's ass. Yeah. Oh, oops. That's what I mean. It's just like, it's so on the nose and stupid, but it's something about the way that it's like delivered to you. I mean, you kind of expect it coming from these guys because they're. If you ever watch any of the Wayans Brothers stuff, it's all kind of like that, you know? Like, you always got the impression that, like, they, you know, were a big family, a bunch of brothers, and a couple sisters thrown in here and there, whatever, and, like, they just goofed around. They're like a family with, like, a sense of humor, and that was just kind of like their thing. They, you know, comedy was just like the common thread in the family, because they're all extremely talented, especially comedically. I think the only Wayans brother who's not in this is Damon, right? Damon Wayans, who is equally as talented comedically. I was just watching some of his clips earlier today, and oh my god, it was so fucking funny, dude. I was gonna piss my pants. But yeah, they spoofed a shitload of movies in this movie. I mean, the two obvious ones are Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. But I think they also spoofed The Exorcist and... Oh man, there's like a baker's dozen. Let's see. Yeah, they did... Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Exorcist, Kazam, The Shining, The Blair Witch Project, Shakespeare in Love, Amistad, Titanic, Thelma and Louise, The Fugitive, Jackie Chan movies here and there, Schindler's List, Boogie Nights, Big Mama's House, American Pie, obviously, The Sixth Sense, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Usual Suspects, and Halloween. I mean, you know, they weren't fucking around, man. And what's interesting is he still kind of managed to make this movie enjoyable in the sense that it still hangs together as a, you know, a movie that makes sense. Like, you know, that you can follow a story and enjoy it and watch it. And you know, it's so obvious what they're ripping off, but, you know, you're not lost. It's not just like a bunch of disjointed scenes or whatever. At least not enough to care, but... I guess he wanted to stick Jared Leto in this movie. They were eyeballing him for one of the roles, probably the blonde guy, I'm guessing. But he declined to be in this movie to be in Requiem for a Dream. Gee, that's a tough choice, right? But Leto was still coming up at that time, so I'm sure he was just still trying to break in. And it's hard to imagine him in this movie. I mean, I'm sure he would have been fit in just perfect because he was sort of that 90s heartthrob for a while, but, you know, it's kind of better that it's more like, you know, these sort of forgotten celebs or whatever from the 90s. I mean, I guess aside from any Wayans brother, like Shannon Elizabeth is probably, or I mean Anna Faris, kind of a little bit too, are the two only memorable people in the movie. I guess he also considered to have Alicia Silverstone to be Cindy, and she didn't want to do it. And she really should have, because her fucking career tanks hardcore after Batman and Robin. Was it Batman and Robin? Yeah, Batman and Robin was the atrocious fucking Batman and Robin with fucking George Clooney, right? Could you imagine being an actor and like you get to a point and then you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna be in a Batman movie with fucking George Clooney. How can I lose? And you fucking, I mean, that must not have even been like a roll of the dice in your mind in terms of thinking like, oh, I should take that. Fuck yeah. I mean, to be part of that franchise, and then it just tanks so bad. I mean, I think that pretty much killed her career, right? I mean, when was the last time you ever saw Alicia Silverstone in a fucking movie? This maybe could have kept her afloat for a couple more years. But I don't particularly like her, so I'm glad it wasn't her, you know? I mean, I don't particularly like Anna Faris too much either, but she kind of fits in these movies real well. That's my rendition of the Friends theme song, in case you couldn't tell. Let's see. What the fuck has Anna Faris done since the Scary Movie trilogy? Or I should say, what have they made? 4 of these, right? 4? Let's see. I guess she does some voiceover work. She was in Keanu, which was recent. 22 Jump Street. I mean, she's keeping it going. She was in Movie 43, which was terrible. The Dictator. And, you know, shitty movies, basically. But, hey, as long as you're working, I guess. I know being an actor is probably one of the hardest career fields to get into, aside from probably comics, as many of my friends can attest to. I do love the scenes with Officer Doofy. He's fucking drooling retard, man. Fucking hilarious. And like his chemistry with Sherry O'Terry is just fucking great. He's fucking drooling all over himself. What is that hat? That'd be a great Halloween costume to do. Officer Doofy, man. Here's another In Living Color alumni. It's so crazy to think about how many like fucking female teachers have been banging students since 2000. I mean, there's been like a dozen at least. It just keeps happening. It's just a weird phenomena of the times. You know, I don't know what causes it to happen, but these teachers keep getting involved with their students. You know. What do you get? Do you guys like these movies? Do you find them funny? I mean, if you're in the 30s, in your 30s, the 30-something crowd, I mean, you find them funny? Yes. I mean, I'm assuming that you do, or maybe it was never your bag. But I wonder if like younger people, you know, in their teens or even their early 20s, like these movies or think of them as funny. I mean, I can remember seeing like Airplane and stuff when I was a young kid and thinking it was funny as hell. You know, you know, when you're that age, it's so easy to be entertained, you know. You're not as biased or, you know, I don't know, like, what's the word I'm searching for? You're not as, like, I don't know, know, after a while when you get older, you just tend to be a little bit more, I don't know, subjective about the things that the comedy that you find to be funny, you know, and it changes, you know. I mean, your sense of humor changes as you get older, and which is what, you know, kind of remarkable about this movie is I still find it really, really funny. It'd be funny to like show this to a group of friends and see if they kind of laugh still, you know. I'm sure if I was like, oh, hey, let's watch Scary Movie, I mean, I'm sure at least half the people in the group would be rolling their eyes and be like, oh, God, really? But I think it's still, you know, a large number of people who saw these movies when they came out still regard these movies as funny, at least a little bit. That actor who plays the sheriff, Kurt Fuller, man. Fucking doofy shits his pants. Oh, man. Yeah, Kurt Fuller, who plays the sheriff here, the balding guy. This fucking guy is one of those dudes he's been in, like, everything. He's got, like, 191 acting credits under his belt. But I always remember him from Ghostbusters 2, but he did a bunch of TV stuff, and I think he was in Wayne's World and, you know, a few bigger movies, but he pops up in a lot of stuff, and you just don't ever, he's like one of those character actors, comedic actors who's in a whole bunch of stuff, and you just see him and you recognize him, but you never know his name, you know, you never remember him, but he's great at what he does, you know, he's funny as shit. Look at those lobster fucking boxers, dude. Those are awesome.
Hey, yo, Greg, man, what's up? You gonna hit the showers or what? No, man, I think I'm gonna work out, you know. Hit the bag a little. Suit yourself, kid. All right. Last one in the showers right now.
What's funny about that is that he's not really making fun of gay people. He's just making fun of like he's playing it like he's in denial about it, you know, and we all know. So it's just kind of funny because, you know, he's this big strapping guy and he's like, you know, in the closet and he doesn't want to. He's in such denial that he's, you know. But he's too stupid to, I guess, to hide, I don't know, like what, his attraction to men or something. But that's like a staple of the Wayans brothers. They do that shit a lot. They did that shit a lot in Living Color, too. They sort of covered a lot of social topics like that on In Living Color.
Ray, you're a dead man.
It's like Ray he can't help his true nature. He's so far in the closet, he's like in another universe. Fucking tiny dick. I'm surprised they put full fucking frontal in this movie, man. They did it a couple times. I mean, full blown cock shots, you know.
You mean Bobby's got a baby dick too?
Fucking baby dick. I wonder if this was rated. This had to have been rated R, right? Had to have been. I mean, you can't see a fucking, you know, twig and berries in a movie without fucking definitely calling it rated R, right? Let's see.
And you know what? That goes for all of you guys. That psycho wants a piece of me. Bring it on. But I'm not going to jail. You got that?
Let's see. Well, this movie got nominated for a bunch of shitty awards, like MTV Movie Awards and shit like that. The budget was 19 mil, and it made 42 the opening weekend, and it grossed 260 mil. That's crazy. Holy shit. God damn. It made 240 million over its budget. That's awesome. You know, I guess it was just hot shit at the time, you know? Making fun of these movies, all these movies that were just come out in the 90s, you know? Good for them. Yeah, so it definitely was rated R for strong, crude sexual humor, language, drug use, and violence. So, well, that makes sense. I guess that was a no-brainer. I probably didn't even need to look that up, but I just wanted to make sure. You know, it's always hard to look back and tell. Because, like, the guidelines always kind of change over time, but, you know, shit, it's been almost 20 fucking years. Oh, man. Buffy, Miss Fellatio.
Look behind you! It's Alex! Look out! Oh my God! Somebody do something! Somebody do something!
Why is there a picture of the Titanic in the background? Shannon Elizabeth definitely a good scream queen, you know? Like, was she ever in any legit horror movies as a scream queen? Because she's definitely got the right stuff to do those kind of roles, you know? Miss Fellatio. Oh, man. She was in 13 Ghosts. So, yeah, she doing... See, that was 2001, so that was right after this. Can't have been. She did, let's see, Night of the Demons from 2009. I haven't seen that one, so couldn't really give you any advice about whether or not to see that one, but Curse 2005, she played Becky. An episode of The Twilight Zone from 2002. Yeah, she dabbled in some horror, I guess, you know. But I guess her real claim to fame is, you know, comedy. But she did Jack Frost, 97. Kind of a horror/comedy. She hasn't really worked in quite a while. I guess she's sort of out of the game. She's 43. It's crazy.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm a little jumpy lately. Hey, any sign of Greg?
No. Do you want me to come by?
No. I'm just gonna take a bath, and then I'm
Let's see if she got any good quotes.
I'd really like to see you, but...
Most people don't realize turkeys are friendly. They're social, they're loyal, they have emotions. Okay. I'm super casual. I like boxer shorts or jeans or tank tops, tennis shoes and flip-flops. That's about it for me. Wow. Deep. We don't live in a world that's black and white. Well, no shit, Sherlock. This is all just really generic shit, man. Well, you know, what do you want to do? She's a bimbo actress, so she is what she is. But, you know, I always thought she was fun in these types of movies. You know, she's got a great screen presence.
Who is this?
Chop you like liver.
What do you want?
I'm in the house. Do you know where I am? I could be anywhere.
Look at those old school phones, man. Old school fucking cell phones and shit.
You're behind the couch.
How do you know that?
I can
I always really like how they always manipulate the Ghostface killer's face mask.
No peeking.
You know, like when he's high or when he's making an expression, they change it. It's fucking funny. I like how they make him like a fucking dumbass, you know? He's just a fucking idiot.
Hey, no peeking. No peeking. Turn around. Good. Okay, now you look. Now you know where I am. You don't.
No, Mr. Killer. I don't know where you are.
I'll give you a big clue. Oh, I gotta stop drinking.
I wonder what Wes Craven thought of this movie. I'm sure he saw it, right? I mean, he had to have. I mean, I'm sure he thought it was fucking hilarious. You know? Old school internet. Oh yeah.
You okay? I'm screaming. What's going on?
The killer was you.
We're just looking up to see if there's anything online about him making any comments on this movie. Wes Craven, that is. But,
Friend gave me.
not really seeing anything. Yeah, he probably,
Cindy! Cindy!
I'm sure he knew about it, but probably didn't want to lower himself to commenting on a movie of this type.
No! Cindy!
I know you've had a rough night, Cindy, so I won't keep you. I just want you to look at some photos. Tell me what you think.
Why is it in a pink folder? She's like, no way.
I'm sorry, Sheriff.
You're sure? Okay, you're free to go. Something I can?
Yeah.
Oh, just... Check that one out again. Worth a shot.
Guess what I just did with those hookers we busted? No way.
See, these little scenes are funny, man.
Watch this. Doofy!
Serve and protect, shoot to kill.
Okay. Special ops you do.
Like the little shit in the backgrounds is funny too, you know?
What's that? That's when you know you become a man, Doofy. Hey, Terry. Smell my finger. What the hell is that? My ass.
Mom said get home now.
Tell Mom I'm on official police business.
Cindy, you okay?
Look at that crown. That's a very suggestive crown, isn't it? What is that shape right in the middle?
Mom says when I wear this badge, you're supposed to treat me like a man of the law.
Yeah, well, Mom also said for you to stop sticking your dick in the vacuum cleaner.
I feel like I know so many doofies in my life. Not a whole lot, but there's a couple people that you meet along the way. You're just like, everything that comes out of your mouth just sort of reminds you of fucking doofy, and you're just like, ugh, why do I have to tolerate this person?
All right? This little piggy stayed home. Now, if this little piggy doesn't roll the goddamn camera, I'm gonna put my foot up his fucking
Well, I
ass.
get him.
You know, you just want to give them shit, but you know you can't because you know they're just challenged.
Cindy Campbell,
You know,
a young girl who was
you just so there's that empathy. You kind of feel some pity for them.
What did I say?
Ow, don't ever step on Gail's shoes.
Why not?
Because Gail's wear Prada shoes.
You idiot.
Yeah, this was back in Sherry O'Terry's heyday, man. Well, she was like the queen of SNL for a while there. Her and fucking Anchorman, what's his name? Oh man, my fucking memory is so terrible. I'm sorry, guys. It's so hard to remember fucking everything, right? But let's see.
Yo.
Hello, Shorty. What are you doing?
Will Ferrell. There you go. Yeah, so Sherry Terry, Will Ferrell were like the king and queen, the prom queen of fucking SNL there for a while, man. They played off each other perfectly, you know? It just has this great chemistry. But it's just too bad that she didn't really peak. She didn't really become a big star, you know? She just kind of drifted out. Sometimes I wonder if, like, you know, some of those SNL guys, they just do that on purpose because they just had enough and, you know, they just want to do other things with their life, or if they just don't really get the response from the people. I mean, it seems like Chris Kattan, he really, really tried to have a career and it just didn't happen because, like, people just don't like him outside of SNL, you know? Same thing with Norm Macdonald. Like, he functioned really well inside SNL sort of world and in a couple little small roles in some Adam Sandler films, but he didn't really work as an, you know, he's not really a likable guy. There's not a whole lot of dimension to him. So I think Sherry O'Terry might have had a little bit of those similar type of problems. But she had a lot of promise, it just didn't really happen for her, unfortunately. Shit, I think fucking Anna Faris had more of a career than Sherry O'Terry did. I mean, you can't really top being fucking SNL royalty, but as far as longevity goes, I mean, what was the last time you ever heard anything about Sherry O'Terry? You know? I mean, the main reason you probably remember her name is just because it's so fucking strange and it rhymes, you know? Sherry O'Terry, you know? It would be cool to see her pop up in a movie, though. Look at fucking Doofy, man. Fucking getting his dick sucked by the vacuum. I'll be honest with you guys. I kind of miss the days of, like, you know, pre-cell phone days where you just had cordless phones like that in the house. And you're like, why? Why would you prefer that? It's because your life was just so much simpler and less distracted and complicated, and, you know, it's just, when you have a smartphone, which is basically a computer in your pocket, it's a constant fucking distraction. You know I'm right. And back in those days, you know, a phone was just a phone. It was a tool. It was like there to leave messages to communicate with. It wasn't something that consumed your life in all facets, you know? I mean, it didn't define you as a person. It wasn't a way for you to define yourself to people. It was just a fucking phone, you know? And even the first cell phones in the, you know, the 2000s, late 90s, 2000s, were just communication devices, and texting was a new thing and stuff, and it was just, you could occasionally send a picture or maybe play some, like, slot machines on your phone, and that was it. I mean, it was just really, really basic shit. And it's just become this all-consuming thing. Entertainment, movies. You know, I mean, people don't really call each other on the phone. They just text and they message each other on apps and shit. And it just gets fucking loathsome after a while because it eats up so much of your lifespan. Fucking around on, you know, I'm trying to eat my fucking eggs at breakfast and I'm on fucking Facebook on my phone. I have to remind myself to fucking put it down, man, because it's such an addiction, you know? I love the way she runs there. It's fucking hilarious.
Let me just say, killing of these
Oh, this is a hilarious scene. Fucking doofy, man.
Have they found Cindy Campbell's father?
No.
Isn't he a suspect?
I can imagine that these types of movies are probably the funnest to work on, you know? There's not a lot of pressure and just gonna have fun. Fucking outs, Gail. Gail swallows. Of course she does.
Hello? Who is this? What? You want to kill me? Oh, God. Hold on. Cindy, it's for you.
No, like a good old fucking locker room scene. Oh my god. I always forget about this character, the fucking coach.
Stand well at area.
She's so brave. She's so brave.
Always play front to back. And remember, never ever.
I don't think this kind of shit would fly anymore
Shading your pubic hair will rid you of crap.
in movies because Caitlyn Jenner just changed the whole playing field for transgendered people, so I don't know. Am I like in violation of laughing at this, even though it's in the context of 2000, like almost 20 years ago? I mean, it is funny. I mean, because it's just so on the nose and in your face, you know? No, that's not cool because it makes transgender people look like perverts. Or maybe it's just funny because it's a guy in a dress who is a fucking pervert pretending to be a woman so he can get close to teenage girls in high school or something. I mean, that's the way I read it. But, you know, hey, I'm old school. Yeah. So, what do you want from me?
Oh, no. No, not that.
I think it's even more funny if she's got the fucking braid in her hair and all that shit.
Well, Cindy, we all have our little secrets.
Oh my god. She's got the fucking scrot sack of a fucking 90-year-old. Like her elbow bumps into it. Oh man.
Well, I need all your help. I have to go to class.
Time, dear.
Buffy, are you coming? I'll catch up with you
I
guys.
wonder what the story with that actor is. Was it like a straight dude who just fucking just played that role that one time? Was it like a transgendered person who played the role, or I wonder what the story is behind that. I'm sure there's nothing about it online. I might have to look it up.
Somebody there?
Let me see. Let me see if there's anything about this shit. I mean, there's always something about everything on the internet now, but
Very funny.
I'm gonna have to like
This Cindy.
think about how to even phrase this in the Google search here. Transgendered
Die. Wanna play psycho killer?
gendered gym coach,
Cheerleader? So it's like you're supposed to be in my life.
comma,
Please, Mr.
scary
Me.
movie, comma, actor. Let's see if that gets us anything.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to run, right?
Something makes me think I'm fucking treading on thin ice here. Let's see.
Oh, now I'm gonna fall and break my leg. Please help
Who
me.
plays Miss Man from Scary Movie? Question mark. Yahoo Answers. Let's see what this is.
Scary killer. I'm panicking now.
Uh,
Help me. Oh, no.
let's see if there's some answers here. Yes, it was Jane.
The big climax.
It says, it's completely unlisted everywhere I go, but I have a suspicion that it was a female bodybuilder named Jane Tricker. Could anybody find a listing
Severed head. Come on.
that shows who Miss Man, the gym teacher Cindy, goes to see?
Give me a headache.
Um,
My Gucci sweater. I
Yes, it was Jane Tricka. She is a female professional bodybuilder and actress.
Get back in there. No. What are you doing up there?
I can't take this fucking job or those greasy shithead teenagers anymore. I'm gonna end it all.
That's it. That's it for that fucking that post. But hey, apparently it was actually. Let's see. Let me look up Jane Tricka.
Well, if the killer was in your house,
Jane
why didn't he just kill you then? Because he's just messing with us. Don't you see?
Tricka.
He's got us right where he wants us.
Tricker bodybuilder.
He's just out
Holy
there,
shit.
waiting for us.
Damn, that is the most mannish looking woman I've ever seen in my life. So it wasn't transgender, so therefore I am not in any violation of PC code. But let's see, here's a Wikipedia page on her. Basically, she's been in the bodybuilding circuit since 1988. Certified body trainer. Began her acting career with this movie. She's still in bodybuilding today. And she's a realtor for some realty source in California. So I guess it was just a random one-off. That is the most manly looking fucking woman I've ever seen in my life. I really thought, that was a dude. But hey, that must be the roids. Must be the roids. Oh, this is a fucking funny scene.
Get up. Go over there. Let me see.
This is where the fucking shit with Ray comes to a head, man. Where he's just fucking, This is, I think, the funniest scene with Ray and his girlfriend. And he's just like, so fucking obviously gay, dude.
Here. Put this on with it.
The look on her face is fucking priceless. She's like, oh, hell no. Really?
Pull it on. Go on. I like that look. Ooh.
I'm bad.
Yeah. Here, put this on with it. Go on, girl, put it on. Yeah, that shit on.
Old school vintage TV in the background.
Yeah. Ooh, so fucking sexy. Come here, girl. Bring your little sexy ass over here. Come on. Full speed. Turn around. Come on. Yes.
Oh my god. I mean, come on. If you were an actor filming these scenes, you would have fucking laughed your ass off. I mean, come on. It would have been fucking ridiculous.
And it's where hormone-driven teens love to come and fool around. So very likely, we're about to see someone get killed. Okay, sure enough, there's a girl in that car, glass unbuttoned, all alone. Let's see if she'll have a word with us. Hi, Gail Hailstorm, author of the new book, You're Next. Oh, yeah. Can you tell us your name?
Well, my name's Heather.
Heather, can you tell us what you're doing out here all alone?
Well, yeah, sure. My boyfriend and I were just, making out, and then we heard a noise out there, so we went to go check it, but...
This is like probably one of
Heather?
the lower scenes of the movie in terms of the comedy kind of failing a little bit. It's a little forced, It's just like, okay, I get it, You're just turning the situation on its head, and it's just kind of so obvious. It's just utter absurdity at this point, It still kind of is funny, though. Well, now they gotta spoof the Blair Witch Project. What's crazy is that I went to go see Blair Witch in '98 or whenever it came out with my girlfriend, and it was a tense movie. It wasn't scary, it was tense. I mean, there were some moments where you're just like, I have to remember, I was probably 20, 21 at the time. And I remember watching it and just thinking, I was tense, but I wasn't really scared. because nothing ever happens in the fucking movie. And then I remember it was such a big deal because there had never been a movie like that before, which was like the first found footage movie. And there was all these rumors going on around about how it's a real movie, and blah blah. You know, it was based off real footage that people found. It's like so fucking dumb. You know, you actually had to explain to people like, hey, asshole, it's just a movie trying to look like found footage or VHS or whatever, you know. People actually really believe it was some kind of documentary movie where they found the fucking footage in the woods or some shit. I mean, that's how fucking stupid people were before the, you know, end of the 90s, man, because they'd never seen anything like, just like with fucking Exorcist, where people were compelled to get up and fucking go speak in tongues and puke in the bathroom. It's just the psychological weakness of people of the times, you know. It's just so fucking dumb, man. Oh, this is probably my favorite scene in the movie. It fucking cracks me up, dude. The fucking loud moviegoer, man. That we've all experienced that before, right? He gets up to go take a piss, and she's being all unruly in the theater, and it's just funny. Yeah, I swear to God, all guys, we all think this way, man. We do. Every time we're taking a whiz, we're thinking about that shit. Yeah, so they're spoofing a Scream scene here, and I always just thought it was a little weird because it's a fucking cock that comes through the hole. But it's still pretty funny, though. Oh my God.
Hey, who was that? Go ahead, do it again.
Poor in the closet Ray, man. Ray needs a therapist. Yeah, I think this is my favorite part, man, when she's just fucking being annoying. Look at that Orville Redenbacher looking motherfucker, dude. It's like, let's have a really white guy in the movie. It'll be a really good contrast between her and the black, or between him and the black person, you know? Like, everybody around her is just a white guy, you know? I have to admit, man, fucking Shakespeare in Love, I fucking hated that movie. So fucking stupid. I don't know why that got a fucking Academy Award. She looked terrible in drag. Gwyneth Paltrow, you know? I didn't get it. I thought it was stupid, gimmicky, you know, whatever. Just not good at all. And she won, or somebody won a fucking Oscar for that shit. Fuck that. I think it might have gotten Best Picture or something. Have you guys ever had a terrible movie experience like this? Have you? I've never had anything this bad, but I've had some bad experiences. But I've heard other people's stories about terrible, like, movie-going experiences. If you've ever had here's the thing. If you've had a terrible movie experience, you know, where somebody's talking or distracting from the movie, tell me the story in the comments below, because I want to hear it. I want to hear your all's funny stories, man. I find that shit to be fucking hilarious. But I like all these fucking stereotypes are jumping up and just fucking their shit up, dude. Fucking hilarious. Mother Teresa. Some funny shit, dude. If I hadn't already watched this movie once today, I'd probably be laughing my fucking ass off. And it's like, yeah, now we can all go back to watching the movie.
There's a few too many people. Oh, honey, please don't throw up. No, hey, you guys,
Who is this big girl? I know I've seen her in other 90s shit. Was she like an SNL player or something? Or... Alright guys, hang on. I gotta grab another beer. I'll be right back.
Scared me. Chrissy. You scared me too. Hello? Who's there? Oh my god. Oh my god, please don't. Please. I'm just a day player.
Sorry, I'm here. Sorry for the delay. Oh, I know it took forever. Did you get into the movie for a minute? That was a pretty funny scene, right? Where she fucking too fat to fit through the hole, and then she fucking breaks the fucking garage door because she's too heavy. It's a good shit, right?
I thought the killer got to you before I could.
Oh, another good scene coming up here real soon, where they finally bang for the first time.
So, here we are. Again. And, you know,
Come on, it's not like it's their fucking second date or something. They've been like fooling around for like months or something, right? Basically, they had to figure out a way to set up the scene a little bit. I'd probably be like, let's just hold off until you're sober, you know, because I don't want to get like end up being like, you know, accused of anything. I love how the script reader is fucking like, oh my god, seriously. They broke the fourth wall there, but that was an instance where it actually really funny, I thought. You know, it was just brief, really quick, you know. Definitely gonna have to do Scary Movie 2 because they totally upped the ante. I think really, honestly, Scary Movie 2 is probably the best of these Scary Movie franchise, you know, because they kind of hit it perfect, and they have David Cross and a bunch of other really talented people in there that really lift it up to a whole nother level of comedy, but fucking pieheads, man. Colt 45 works every time. You know, I always wish I could have been a piehead, man. It's just not for me. It doesn't fit my brain chemistry. I know there's probably a lot of you fucking pieheads out there listening to this shit right now. But, and that's a good thing. Hey, you know, I don't judge. You know, I have a lot of good friends that are fucking potheads. I mean, smoke away. The shit's becoming illegal legal anyway. But I just never. I don't know. Narcotics never really work with my brain. I'm not a drug user. I drink a few beers and that's about it. But I think the whole drug culture is a funny thing to laugh at, you know, in movies and stuff. Like, because I get it. You know, I've been there, in and out of it. But it's really, really funny in this movie. It's such a big part of this movie. And pot humor really doesn't sell well in a lot of movies. You know, a couple movies like, I don't know, like Half Baked or something. It's kind of funny. But everybody's just tired of it, you know? It's just cliche as fuck. Because there's only so much stuff you can do. Oh my god, if someone... That's like, seriously, one of the worst things that can happen to a dude. We have nightmares about that shit. Because we know every time that happens, that situation comes along, there's a risk of that happening. And believe me, it's happened to me. And it feels horrible. It's the worst nightmare feeling on your Johnson that you can imagine. You know? I mean, girls, watch out for those fucking teeth, man. Don't ever bite down. Ever. Yeah. Word to the wise. You know, over the lips and past the gums, but watch out for those fucking teeth, man. Oh my god. Look at... Holy shit. It's gonna bust out the fucking hedge trimmers, man. Fucking do a little, like, landscaping there. Look at the fucking... They fucking nailed the sculpt on that fucking mask. Perfect, man. If anybody's ever smoked pot before, that's exactly what it feels like when you get stoned. Exactly. This is actually a pretty funny scene.
Hello? What's your favorite scary movie? I'm gonna cut you like a...
Oh, man. She finally unleashes her inner sexual energy on his ass. Her pent-up sexual urges. She becomes possessed. Oh my god, that's a big load. Holy shit. I guess that's what happens when you keep a guy on their ropes for so long. He said peel your foreskin off.
That was the illest round I ever seen.
You know, it's crazy if I've known stoners like that. You know, they're just whack. They're just out of their fucking mind. And they're entertaining, but they do get old after a while. I mean, come on.
So what, you think I killed Buffy and Greg?
Buffy and Greg are dead? Oh my god! Bobby, turn around! It's the killer!
She had that gun all along. Why was she packing heat the whole time, man? Would have had that shit tucked into my boot or something. Ass, blood, and guts.
We all go a little crazy sometimes.
Boom. Oh my god, that's so funny. His reaction was fucking great. Ketchup.
Just like my mom puts on a spaghetti.
Just like my mom puts on spaghetti. He's got the thing on his ear.
Surprise, Sandy.
Why are you doing this?
Why? You know that, right? I think she wants to know that. Did Scream have a plot? No. Did I know that? Don't think so. What about
Calling out the originals.
I want to kill that motherfucker, man.
Bad casting, Bobby.
How about this for a motive? Lack of sex. It can cause serious deviant behavior.
Actually, you have a point there.
But abstinence makes you discover new things about yourself. That's right, Cindy. I'm gay. So is Ray. What? So they play good music.
What about our trip to San Francisco?
First of all, you suck my ass, Ray, okay? The point is, Cindy, that I'm a new man. And I'm ready to leave all this behind and start a new life.
Do you kill all your friends?
Oh, man.
Wasn't planned or anything. But here's the genius part. We're copycatting a serial killer that already exists. It's the perfect crime, Cindy. But wait! There's more!
Like he's fucking spitting all over the place. Am I the only one that thinks this is fucking hilarious? Once he got fucking knee pads on, his pants are down.
You just have a little bit of fun with old Daddy. The police are gonna find you and Daddy both dead. We're the only survivors of a maniac's revenge. You ready? You ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, let's do this. Let's do this shit. Come on.
Uh-oh, my cat wants to chime in.
Come on. Give it to me.
Sorry, guys, I can't control this cat. This cat is fucking out of her mind. This is a funny scene, dude. I love that. Pumping each other up to direct spoof from Scream as well, but they play this really funny. He just stabs the shit out of him.
Watching television shows doesn't create psycho killers. Canceling TV shows does. The Wayans Brothers was a good show, man. It was a good episode.
The Wayans brothers.
My turn. You're right. Fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. I ain't gonna let some white boy stab the shit out of me. Oh man, that's funny. Come on. You think that's funny, right? That's some funny shit. He fucking falls right on his ass. Oh, this is where they get all Matrix on you, right? Oh, that wasn't a prop. No. So many movies have stolen that Matrix move, man. It popped up in a lot of movies for a while. And it's great that they spoofed it. I would argue that this is probably the only appropriate time for a movie to steal that. You know? Because after all, it just became like a, you know, a cliche, you know? Yeah, that's me with my bad back, dude. I feel like that guy all the time. I guess this is where they're spoofing the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon moves and stuff. He's getting into it for a minute. Boom! You're done, son. Fucking pervert, drug smoking dad, crack smoking dad.
Get some girlfriend's numbers for me?
Dad, they're dead.
You know I can't get a break. What's that? Is that the cops? Okay, listen, honey, help me out now.
It's like the dad's more of a degenerate than anybody else. Fucking old pervert. He's like, I'm going to jail. I'm guilty.
The killer! The guy that murdered all my friends!
And the sick bastard planted drugs all in the house there, all over the place. All right, Cindy, I'm going to take you down there. I'm cool, though, right?
Fucking self-centered cool dad, just like living on the edge, you know, fucking drugs and trying to pick up young chicks. Oh my god. He pulls out a flog and a gag ball and a fucking butt plug, dude. Look at the size of that butt plug. Oh my god. It like jiggles back and forth. Oh, doofy.
Hey, Sheriff. They wanted me to get this to you.
What's he eating?
Okay. I'm gonna go then.
Like a fucking
Alright.
donut or something?
Bye.
I'm sorry, Cindy. It wasn't the man you guys killed. David Keegan. Some fishermen found his body a few weeks later. He's buried in Lakewood Cemetery.
That's impossible.
He doesn't even give a shit that they fucking murdered somebody with their vehicle manslaughter occurred. He doesn't even give a shit, you know? He's just like, man, just glaze over that, you know?
She used to babysit my brother, dude. I had the biggest crush on her.
It's me, Sin. Night, Sin.
What? Doofus porcelain?
Have you seen Doofy? No. Have you seen Doofy? No, Sheriff. Has anybody seen Doofy?
I like the usual suspects throwback here. And he goes off into the sunset to bang Sherry O'Terry. He was the killer the whole time. Shit, I would fucking go bang Sherry O'Terry for a while. Who wouldn't? She's a cutie, you know, good sense of humor. She's probably not uptight, you know. You feel me? That'd be a good time. It's so fucking stupid. Yep. Nice way to end the movie there.
Shit, son.
Oh, after credit scene.
Yo, y'all watching this tape right now? That means I didn't make it. Or worse, did it.
Don't you guys ever get the feeling that these guys just,
I'm gonna tell y'all the rules.
the Wayans brothers just did skits all the time as kids growing up, and that's how they developed their sense of humor, and they just carried that through into their movies. It just seems authentic. You know, their senses of humor are really different from each other and stuff, but kind of have a similar feel because they're, you know, they're a family of goofballs, you know, but they're smart. They know what the fuck they're doing. And these movies all came out really great. You know, the Scary Movie trilogy. I don't know if there was 3 or 4. I'd have to look at that. Let me see real quick. I always forget because I lost interest after 3. 3 was very mediocre. Let's see. Oh shit, they did it all the way up to 5. See, 5 was the one... Oh, the one with Charlie Sheen. Yeah, that was shit. For sure. Who was in 4? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Dr. Phil. Yeah, there you go. Jumping the shark right there. Bill Pullman. Oh, they even have Leslie Nielsen in that one. Jesus, they had a bunch of fucking celebs in 4. Man, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch these movies. I just remember 3 not being that good. Charlie Sheen, Jenny McCarthy, Jeremy Piven. Yeah, you know. I don't know. Which was the one that had fucking Andy Richter as the priest? Which one was that? That was, it had to have been 3, right? Let's see. Oh, I guess... I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. You know what? The point is they all blend together. 1 and 2 are great. 3, and then everything after that, I don't even really remember because these movies just start to become redundant after a while. But I remember these ones being really, really funny and being a good time. And, you know, what can I say? I hope you guys had a good time hanging out with me, listening to this movie. Another impromptu solo commentary. You know, I just want to add some diversity to the channel, and here you have it. Some comedy, straight up comedy. So, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? I mean, add some comments below. You know, add a like or dislike, you know, thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't be afraid to say thumbs down if you don't like it. It's just nice to hear people respond to what I'm doing, you know? Is it your thing? Is it not your thing? You know, I mean, I'm not looking for, you know, people to come on the channel and troll and be rude, but I'm looking for people to be honest, you know? You want to leave a comment, be honest, say I'm a fucking dumbass and do it. It won't matter one way or the other, but I'd like to hear people, you know, you put time and effort into making these things, and you want to hear people's feedback on it, whether it be good or bad. And I can handle criticism. It's all good, you know? I don't like everything I see, and I always try to be positive when I respond. I try to be constructive, but, you know, hey, if you got something to say, then say it. It's cool, you know? So, yeah, you can totally find us on the channel and leave a comment below, or you can find us at facebook.com/rratedhorror, and you can email directly to us at rratedhorror@gmail.com. You can find me at joshjamescreative.com or facebook.com/joshjamescreative. You can find Donnelly at facebook.com/artistrecruit, and give us some feedback. Let us know, and you can make suggestions for movies to do. I would love to do a suggestion that a fan threw in there, you know, a listener threw in there. I would love to do that. So get involved. Let us know. And in the meantime, you know, hey, I'll be churning out a lot of content because I'm trying to do a lot real fast over the next couple months because I want to shut this down for a little bit and take a break and do some other things. But I'm going to give you guys enough content to keep it going for a while. So, alright guys, I hope you enjoyed Scary Movie, and I'll definitely be back, I think, to do at least Scary Movie 2 at some points. And yeah, check me out at joshjamescreative.com, facebook.com/joshjamescreative. You can check out Dan Donnelly, facebook.com/artistrecruits, Brian Lee at thefullbleedart.net. And if you want to reach out to us, email us at rratedhorror@gmail.com. You can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/rratedhorror, or you can just simply comment below on YouTube. So we'd love to hear from you. Suggest movies, give us feedback, just bullshit around, whatever you want to do. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us. And as always, stay awesome and stay R-rated. Cheers.
Rated R.